Like I was on the track.
Trying to go to school, trying to skate up with the homies, trying to show and break the rules. My mama went to work, my house and grill over little.
Yo, welcome back to another episode, Relativevisiontv. I'm here with Mr. Cospeaks himself, my boy, my brother, you know what I mean, raised with the same background, man. I'm welcome to have my brother Brandon here with me. Welcome to the show, brother.
It's fantastic to finally be here.
Hell yeah.
We've been talking about it for forever.
Yeah. This is the first of many episodes that we're going to get in. But yeah, welcome to the show. And then, this is just a quick episode, and we're going to talk about a couple of things, as far as, his career, talking about high vibration. We're going to talk about, a lot of ideas we got coming. Just have a good conversation for you, bring you some good content. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share everything we got coming to you. I've been coming with a lot more content, and I will keep coming with it, you know what I mean? And let me know what you guys want to hear, who you guys want me to bring on. But for today, we're gonna start with who Mr. Cospeaks is and what he's all about as far as himself personally and as far as creatively and artistically. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are as an artist. You know what I mean? I know, but let the people know. Let the people know. Everybody want to know, so let them know.
I'm your friendly neighborhood, Savage Ghetto Eskimo for the Norfside. Norfside being Stigma, California, where it's really, really cold, depending on, time of year. It can be out of daylight all day, but when it gets to that evening time, it's a different kind of wilderness. I call it Mount Olympus or Norfside, just so they know. I feel like not too many people are proud to say that they from a specific city, because I know everywhere else identifies us as LA. As long as you close to LA,
we on the map,
you LA.
Separate.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, when they announce the news, they say what the weather is. That's deep. So, I mean, what it is. But for those that don't know, Altadena is a small little city above Pasadena, which similar dynamics. We basically family all together, but specifically it's a different vibe. I feel like coming from where we come from, you're not pigeonholed by anything unless you choose to be. Yeah. There's programs with mentors and teachers and stuff like that. So whatever field you want to get into, as long as you're passionate about it, someone's going to see avenues. Yeah, someone's going to see you and try to push time into it. A lot of things happen in Pasadena and Altadena. They film a lot out there. They do a lot. They hold musical festivals.
Even politically. Yeah. Pasadena is a staple that people don't know. That courthouse down there, and just the city system itself is something big politically. You know what I mean? That should mean a lot more to people than what you actually know. And if you pay attention and understand that, you know what I mean? You got major senators going through Pasadena and things like that. So just the city in itself has always been something special. You know what I mean? To everybody that's from Pasadena, you understand it.
And the Rose Parade. That's the only
history.
That's the only light we really get for everyone to know. It's that and the Rose Bowl.
And that's commercials. Yeah, that's commercials ever. You know what I mean? But the first thing I want to talk to you about is art. And I know you're not just a musician, so tell me how do you consider yourself? What do you look at yourself when it comes to art? Because I've seen you paint, I've seen you draw, you know what I mean? I've seen you be talented in so many different areas. How do you embody all those things, and how do you find your direction, and what's your purpose and all that? What is your art say to people?
Honestly, I just want to change some perspectives. I don't see a lot of African American blatant representation in situations. I mean, I do now that I'm older and I'm in the community and I follow certain pages and stuff like that. Yeah. Being a kid, I didn't know any of that. My favorite cartoon ever is Boondocks, and just because of how unapologetically black Boondocks is, and it's filled with all types of content and messages and stuff like that. Now someone else might see it and be like, they say nigga, first is like, oh, like no, like there's so much social commentary in every episode. But I feel like it's social commentary in everything we watch.
Yeah.
You just gotta like be deep enough and like think about it enough to actually like identify it.
Yeah.
But for me and mine, it's more like I just wanted people to see themselves in it, like being a black human being, being a minority, period, is frowned upon unless you try to adapt to Eurocentric culture that America is based in.
Yeah.
So unless you decide, like, you know,
did you hear that?
So unless you want to like decide to like give up pieces of yourself, and fragments of yourself to try to fit into this world over here that they told us this is the bomb dig, this is where you gotta be. It's like, all right, for sure. I never wanted to do that. I never liked it. My mom, I would get in trouble and she would make me watch documentaries. Like we was watching Malcolm X and American Gangster and stuff like that. And then to make it worse, she would make me have to give like a verbal report on what we watched. So
I have the same thing. My aunt used to do that to me with, just reading newspapers. And it also taught me what was going on in the world, but she wanted me to be able to comprehend and be able to communicate about what I was reading.
I said, that stuff hit different, especially like when you get older, because at the time it's like, bro, I'm a kid, bro, I want to go outside.
Yeah.
Or I want to play video games or something. But when you get older and everyone's talking about like, oh, everyone's talking about being woke, everyone's talking about like all this stuff. Like all this stuff is fine now because we're in a world where people try to be more considerate.
Yeah.
But you were like to be aware before everyone else was even thinking about being aware.
Yeah.
It's something different.
Being taught that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That being part of one of your systems that you build up. You know what I mean? To build your foundation. But, talking about foundation, where do you get most of your inspiration from to get these ideas and to be creative and want to be authentic with who you are?
I have an issue with sugarcoating stuff. So to be short, I look directly in the eye when I say this, I'm unapologetically black. And I know we have this thing in our culture where we identify like black as a certain series of movies you see and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I believe Tupac's philosophy of the hate you give little infants F's everybody to be so fact and so like it's there. So Tupac presented himself in a way that the world was going to see him anyway. No matter if he decided to be a lawyer, if he decided to be the common of his time, any of that, they was always going to see Tupac as this thug nigga, no matter what it was. Even if he wasn't that, they was going to try to paint that type of picture. Yeah. So he decided to embrace it.
The stigma of black being negative.
Yes. So he decided to embrace it full form. Everything I am is, I want people to be like proud of being black. That's what the pencil drawings is. That's what the paintings is. That's what the music is. I just want, like, because we're in our development as American youth, as American citizens, we're taught so much of that's not okay, that's ghetto, don't do that, don't rock that way, don't any of that. Yeah. Like me personally, like I'm still to this day trying to look up blaxploitation films so I can see what's up with that representation we had in the 70s and why we loved it so much. Why was it different kind of, like they perceived things differently. A snazzy suit was some fly bell-bottom pants that was tailored and a shirt tucked in and stuff like that. Like stuff like that. I like my music all over the place. I don't know, I'm just...
Let's talk about that, because I know you're a real historian when it comes to music, and you really love music. And what do you think separates you when it comes to, either physically going through crates or going through crates mentally? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got this song that I identify with from a young age. Yeah.
I believe art is the only thing that changes the foundation of life that we live in. Like art is the only constant thing that can inspire so much change. So the best way for me to make any type of impact on this world would be to use that as like a gift. So even like if Like me personally, like it's more of like a feeling in my soul than anything. I can listen to Luther Vandross right now, and it's gonna resonate different. Or like groups like Switch that has so much natural talent, just so much built up, and then I go research and it turns out even though they had beards and all this stuff like that, they were kids, bro. They were 18, 20, 19, like they were children throwing it out there, and then like just learning the details on how they had their joint, and the bars had theirs and stuff like that. Just learning where we come from before I can do anything for myself. So I know who we are, I know where we're going, and I know because life works in loops.
Right.
So we were once great, we can easily be great again.
Mm-hmm. No matter we talked about this earlier. Just having the mindset of being something like Frederick Douglass.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Something like a Malcolm X. And we can surpass that, you know what I mean? Or we can be in the same realm of who they were, embody that. You know what I mean? Nipsey Hussle, like embody who these people were that we aspire to be like. You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing to aspire to be like somebody, but add something to it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be influenced.
Each one teach one.
Yeah. Be influenced by the people that you're around that are, you know, influential, and do it your own way also at the same time.
I know for sure. I once, someone told me this a long time ago, but it was like you are who you hang around and you are what you listen to.
Yeah.
So after that, it was like, bro, if the music is trash, if the content isn't there, I can't listen to it. I'm not one of them cats that can be like, oh, bro, yeah, we in a party. This stuff is fun. You know, it's party music. Not me, bro. I'd rather just skip out on the party. I'm just not going to.
So I hear a lot of that. And the way I look at it is like, I respect that people are grinding. You know what I mean? I respect people doing art and expressing themselves. You know what I mean? I just don't rock with people, you know what I mean, content if it's not helping your community or the people that you're around, you know, reach another level. You know what I mean? If you can't challenge somebody's thoughts or mindset, you know what I mean, and put them on game, you know what I mean, teaching somebody, then I think that it's worthless.
That's so crucial.
You know what I mean?
Put on game aspect. Like that's what I like most about that stuff from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. Well, the 90s kids was just trying to show their appreciation for the 70s and 80s stuff that they grew up on that their moms was playing.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. Just like now, all of our samples and all of our loops and all that stuff like that and all of our nostalgic joints come from loops and situations that we get from the 90s.
Right.
And then like that's even thinking about like they play the hits.
Yeah. Anything great will be recycled.
All they know is the
greats
hits.
will be recycled.
Like it's such a surface level of hits.
Yeah.
But like our OGs, moms, and like they know what like was really slapping on that album, because they'll say 1,000 times back in the day you couldn't just have one or two good songs and have an album. Nah, you needed one or two songs that gravitated us in, and the whole album had to slap.
Yeah. So
if I go get a Blue Magic album and I'm playing Blue Magic from the top to the bottom just because of the slideshow or something, they had one hit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one hit, but they had one hit where it's like, oh, let the slideshow, let the slideshow begin.
Yeah.
Step right on in. So stuff like that, and then you get the album where it's killing them. And then you get the album and it's like, oh, and like the songs I like they'll be nowhere near this. So just like, bro, I'll play this in a room full of people that was out at that time. Like, I like my music old school. I was like, bro, you as a casual listener, I can probably give you more tunes than you could at that time.
Yeah. My man's into it, and I love it.
Time out, pause. The greatest song ever written, right? This is for me personally.
Subjective.
It's called "Lady You Are" by One Way. It starts off. The song is fantastic. If you love love, like you ain't got no hatred in your heart because your mom did something to you or something like that. You love love. Play that two-step with your grandma, two-step with your lady. I'm gonna go home and do it. If y'all follow me, CXLD Speech. Watch the video.
Tap me on my boys. Tap in. You know what I mean? Musical genius, man. He's doing great things with his music. He just released his first album. When did that drop?
What's it called? The album dropped on the 22nd.
Of what?
This year. I said we was like, you know what? Universe, what are you saying? You know,
I've been listening to this.
February 22nd,
he's been making music on his phone in general for a long time. And the world hasn't tapped into it, but the first album was amazing. And I just told him this earlier that I can't wait to see the growth that he has coming. Because, you know what I mean, if you have the courage to even release an album and it be as good as it was, you know what I mean? You know,
that wasn't mixed at all. So
and then there's another level to the creativity. You know what I mean? There's other avenues to go down. There's other stories to tell. Like myself, it's a highly rated album, one of the top albums of the year. Even if you heard, you know, a Kendrick's album, you want to go listen to this album. You know what I mean? I don't care where you from, East Coast, West Coast, whatever. Go check out this album, and they can find the album on all platforms. What's the name of the album?
Code Gang. CXLDGAM.
Yeah, from Mr. Cospeaks. You know what I mean? And he got a lot of features on there that go hard as well. Production is really crazy.
And shout out to Sean Beats. Me and him are basically like in the same place. There's two young dudes. Only difference is right now he living in Pittsburgh. But basically, our man.
And that works out.
Yeah,
and that works out for sure.
That boy.
That means somebody in the East Coast right now is slapping an album.
I know.
It's really easy.
East Coast is actually showing love, but like he was putting Draco, like he was making Draco beats.
Yeah.
Right, and then YOW Nelly or something.
Oh yeah,
I forgot how to say it. Yeah, I forgot how to say it. But
yeah.
He was making beats for him too. So he's a young up and coming beat maker who's already like got like a name for himself.
Right.
And then they just happened to put us together and it just happened to work. So all that stuff like that.
So check out the album, man. Code Gang.
He finna drop
all platforms. You know what I mean? Sean Beats dropping something.
B4 Value 3.
Right. So tap in, man. The music is amazing. But beyond that, man, you just had your second kid. How's that feel?
Well, it's a son, so you know it's a whole different dynamic. Honestly, I feel blessed and I feel amazed because I don't know if anyone else life works this way, but when God want me to get on a new level, He throw a kid at me. He threw my daughter at me, and the job I had. The job I had. Okay, that's not gonna work. And then I got UPS, and then I got a car, and all that stuff like that. Then I met you, and everything just. But even through that,
you've been through adversity. You know what I mean? Your car went to flames. And
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like,
even that, I went through that. And then I got my uncle sold me his truck.
Yeah.
And then like being consistent on paying that showed me that I was capable of like, okay, let's
we can being responsible.
Yeah, I said it's just that I don't think nothing happens by accident. I think everything is purposeful. I think God got you that you can choose to, you know.
But you gotta work on your own energy to be able to accept it.
I was just gonna say it's an energy thing. So God gives you free will. Yes, you can either choose to be negative, you can choose to have like minus signs on everything, or you can choose to be positive. So even when a perceived negative sign comes, it becomes a positive. Like nothing happens to me where I'm just like, oh, my day is ruined. I don't have bad days.
Yeah. You get to pick and choose what your day is like.
We just talked about this earlier, but I chase the smile.
Yeah.
So I'm not chasing. I chase the money. Money root of all evil. That's not gonna lead to me being happy.
Well, I don't believe that, but
money the root of all evil. I feel like money isn't necessarily evil itself.
Yeah.
I feel like the desire of chasing it and being obsessed with it.
If you do anything for it,
and you get obsessed with it. But if you become more obsessed with the idea of living in love, and giving love, and that love comes back to you and stuff like that.
Chasing the proper purpose.
Next thing you know, you got to glow and you shine, and people around you to see the.
Once you understand the part you play in the community that you're a part of, you know what I mean. Things become more valuable.
It's
facts.
It's a fact of life. But I feel like we don't teach too much like spiritual presence. So we don't teach like, oh, bro, your energy can dictate how your world goes. So you can't.
No, not can. It will.
It will. With them, you have to say can, because they go, what, bro? everything just happens to me. Like, no, bro.
You're in control. Drive the car.
Yes. That's it.
You're behind the wheel.
You have to play on autopilot, flying into a storm. Okay. The computer don't know that it's a storm. But you going through it. You feel the cloud. You feel the rain. Now, if you ever just like press that button, let me drive over here real quick. Let me see what's happening.
You get to choose incrementally. You know what I mean? Everything that you put into it could be just 1% a day. If you make that change 1% a day,
you need to put that in the bottom. Incrementally, word of the day. I know for a fact niggas don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
So, percentage a day. Just put it that way. Incrementally is just small amounts.
Increments.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
just a small amount a day. That's all you need to do is make sure you're making a progress just a little bit at a day, but that little bit adds up. You know what I mean? If you start in one place and then if you do 1% a day, by the end of 365 days, that's 360, you know what I mean, percent. You completely changed the trajectory of where you're trying to go.
I told myself when I was 13, every day, not 13, it was like 14, 15, but it was like every day I gotta add to something I did. Like every day I gotta do something creative to add, so I got a little bit more today than I had yesterday. So if that's looking up a bunch of samples, that's getting them on the playlist, that's writing 2 bars on this song, that's drawing something, every day something gotta move, something gotta shake, something gotta kick.
And with that being said, I wanted to touch on the point that, and having that mindset about purpose, and that's what living purposeful is knowing that, all right, if I add to that every single day, then my life's gonna change in a better direction. That's better than chasing money, because if you chase your purpose, money's gonna follow wherever your purpose is at. You know what I mean?
I'm saying money will come. You might be broke for a minute, financially, because as long as your spirit is up, you're gonna be optimistic enough to be like, well, I can do this for some bread, I can do that. The avenues turn in your favor. See, basically what we're getting down to is the world is not the thing that controls you. You control your world. It can be around.
Say it again. Look, there was a necessary pause in that. There was a necessary pause in that. But that's a fact.
It can be around the corner, or it can be up the street. Either way, the way you view the walk, is what dictates that.
So just to switch it up, to put it on another note, something else that we're gonna talk about is dating and being able to have a relationship and relationships today. You know what I mean? I want to get your perspective on this. And
on relationships today?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And we were talking about the female-male dynamic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as far as communication and emotional intelligence, and what do you see as it being disconnected or connected? What is your view on what relationships are like today?
See, now, I feel like relationships today and relationships yesterday aren't too different. I just feel like we all have phones now. I feel like it's more broadcast. I feel like it's there. Back in the day, like before we had like reality TV or stuff like that, it was presented on talk shows when they were going through a frenzy of talk shows in the 80s. And everyone that could have a talk show had a talk show. And the magazines before that, and the magazines as well as that time. But I feel like it's always been that way of a communication issue. And we don't normalize talking about certain things that we need to talk about for that relationship to thrive. Like we don't, this is like a hot button topic, but no one communicates love languages. No one communicates sex. No one communicates, oh, I talk like this. Okay, when you talk like this, I don't like it, and it offends me, and it makes me feel this way, and I tend to shut down.
Let me say this. I think it's consistently, because I think people understand the love language thing now, but I don't think it's a practical thing in people's lives, and I don't think it's a consistent thing that people actually create a foundation on.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just something that is surface level, like, oh, these are my love languages, but it's like, okay, if that's your love language, are you trying to understand somebody's love language the same way that you understand yours?
I don't even really think I understand yours.
Or can you articulate how to to get to the point to where your partner can understand your love language? Can you articulate yourself well enough emotionally to be able to get somebody to understand what your love language is? Because I think that's the.
I think love language is like a TikTok trend, and for a cool minute, everyone was talking about it.
No, it's a book. It's in a book. So,
but I feel like when they talk about it, it's more like, oh, yeah, I think this and this is my love language. Like that. But I don't feel like people are like really. We talked about this when I first got here, but it's like people need to take like a certain time away from being involved in everything and everyone, and figure yourself out. So you need to figure out what your love language is.
Facts.
What's your goal? What's the reason you wake up in the morning? What are you shooting for every day?
Yeah.
I call it what's your why?
Yeah.
Like what's your why? Like when you woke
why
up,
are you here?
When you woke up, what's the thing that put a smile on your face? The idea of doing that today, or the idea.
And some people don't even understand how to get to that point. And I think it's a lot of soul searching of doing things that you would normally do completely by yourself. You know what I mean? Whether it's going to the movies, going out to eat, planning a trip for yourself. Like, I like this and I don't like this. You know what I mean? So that's food you've never eaten.
Solitude and being lonely is two different things. Solitude is at peace with yourself
and vibrating on a higher frequency.
Yeah, I'm
independently.
I'm feeding into self-love. And whether that can be, like some people, their version of self-love is giving and loving someone else and helping other people. And that's fine, that's cool. But I feel like everyone on earth should definitely take like moments in life and figure that part out, because we live so much of a you should do this, of a suggestive lifestyle. Everything's like, oh, you should do this, you should do this. And everyone and their mama has a reason why you should do it, or some way that you should be living.
Yeah.
When in reality, like most of the things that we rock with,
keep that love. Keep that.
I said most of the things that we rock with, we love, it come from like our parents, our